guys, it's Allie. Welcome to another Thrifty Thursday where I visit a local thrift store in search of tingly items to share with you. So if you have never seen a Thrifty Thursday before, there are 3 basic rules that I have to follow. Rule number 1, I cannot spend over $5. Rule number 2, the item or items that I purchase have to be not only tingle-worthy, but also useful to me in my own life. And rule number 3, each time I visit the thrift store, I have to donate something of mine, something that I am not using but might be beneficial to someone else. So on today's trip to the thrift store, I didn't actually donate anything of mine, but my boyfriend decided he wanted to contribute some old clothes to the cause. So I donated a pair of his pants and an old t-shirt that he wasn't wearing. Now, let's talk about what we discussed on last week's Thrifty Thursday. If you remember, I had the little ice cube tray, which, thanks to so many of you guys, by the way, it's now confirmed that was a tiny ice cube tray. I was right. And I mentioned, or I asked you guys to tell me if you'd like to see this week's Thrifty Thursday using that tiny ice cube tray to make tiny Jello cubes, because I thought that'd be a cool idea. So I really like the idea of having my own little herb garden. And I'm going to be moving out of my apartment soon. Moving into a new place here in a couple of months. Well, I guess more like a month and a half maybe. And I want to get really settled in that place, because even though I've been in this apartment for almost 2 years, I never felt truly settled here. I guess because I knew it wasn't where I wanted to stay. And in the next place I live, I really want to be able to call it home and make it feel like my own. And I think one thing I'd like to do to achieve that is to have my own sort of little herb garden outside on the patio. So if these do well, maybe I'll bring them with me, and they, along with my basil plant, will be the beginning of my little garden. Who knows, I might be as gifted a gardener as Fred one day. I can only hope. Okay. So I'm going to open this up, take everything out, and then I'll read the instructions. Okay, so here's everything. It comes with a little tray for the pots. And I really like this. I really like the blue. It's really pretty. 3 little pots. Two bags of some, I guess, discs of potting soil. See? I think with these you are just supposed to add water to them and they become a nice sort of moist potting soil. And 3 little packets of seeds. This one is Italian parsley. You can hear the little seeds shaking around in there. Let me see, just for fun, if I can pronounce its scientific name. Petroselinum crispum. Maybe. I feel like I should be waving a wand when I say that. I don't know. So that's Italian parsley. This one is sweet marjoram. Let's see, try and pronounce this. Originum majorana, maybe. Originum majorana. Oh, I don't know. Apparently this comes with 50 seeds. When I go ahead and plant each herb, I'll tell you a little bit about, I guess, what I know about their uses in cooking. So I don't know much about gardening, but I know a little bit about cooking. Okay, this one is lemon basil. I'm excited about this one. I have a feeling it's going to be very pleasantly fragrant when it starts to grow. And the scientific name is Basilic citron. Oh, maybe. Oh, actually, you know what? I don't think that's necessarily its scientific name. I think that might be just how you say lemon basil in French, possibly, or something. I don't know its scientific name. There it is. Okay. Now I'm gonna read the instructions from the box. It says how to grow your garden. Place peat pellets. That's what these are. They're peat pellets. In a bowl, and add a 1/3 cup of water per pellet. Allow pellets to soak up water. Place pellet soil evenly into the 3 pots. Place 3 to 5 seeds of each variety into the separate pots. Lightly cover the seeds with soil. Water thoroughly. Place plastic wrap over the planters and place in a warm location. When seeds have germinated, remove the plastic wrap and water the soil regularly. Okay. Now on the other side of the box it says harvesting your herbs. Herbs may be used fresh or dry. I like them fresh myself. Fresh herbs may be used immediately. Just pick a few leaves and use in your favorite recipes. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to grab a couple more things that I need. And I'm going to take these away for a minute. Now, first I want to show you the little designs, though. They're pretty. I wonder, I'm not sure, I wonder if, because they have slightly different, not very different though, but semi-different designs on them. I wonder if they're meant to be the herb carbs that are included in this kit. I really don't know. They look a little bit, well, I can't really tell. They look pretty similar. I don't think I'll worry about it too much. I'll just plant them in whichever. Okay, so I need to go get some water and some kind of a little scoop and a bowl and a measuring cup, and then I'll be ready. So it says to use 1/3 cup of water for each peat pellet. So that means, let's say I have 6, that means I need 2 cups of water. Because we've got 1/3, 2/3, 1 cup, 1/3, 2/3, 2 cups. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to put all of the peat pellets in the water into this little Tupperware container. I need to cut these open first, so I'm going to do that. Okay. So here is what the peat pellets look like. They're pretty solid. But they're going to turn into soil, potting soil, once we add some water. Okay, so I'm going to put it in here. I smelled it. It doesn't really smell like anything in particular. Two. I'm looking forward to this. Now this one. One. Two. Three. Okay. And now it's time to add some water. So this measuring cup has 4 cups of water in it. I'm going to pour in 2. There we go. That's about half a cup. Okay, that looks like about a cup or so of water. Cup and a half. So now I just let that soak. Let it do its thing until it all sort of becomes a big thing of potting soil. Okay guys, as you can see, the pellets have now turned into mud basically. That took about 10 minutes of me kind of waiting, and I helped it along by poking at them here and there and mushing them up, but about 10 minutes. Yeah, it's gonna get under my nice pretty fingernails, but what is life without a little bit of mess, right? Okay, so I need my first pot. Here it is. I'm gonna set that right here where hopefully you can see it. And I have a little cup. Interesting story about this cup. I've had this little plastic cup for absolutely as long as I can remember. I drank apple juice out of this cup from basically almost infancy, since I could hold a cup, I guess. And it has these little measurements here, and I just have managed to keep it and hold on to it. It's sort of special to me, and my little boy sometimes drinks out of it now, so maybe he'll keep it and pass it on to his little children. There's nothing remarkable about it. It's just a little plastic cup that used to be kind of pink. Now it's almost white. Anyway, I'm going to use it as our scoop. So I'm going to get a little of this soil out. Just put it in my first pot. I think I want to fill it a decent way. I want you to be able to see this though. Kind of gross ploppy noises, but okay, so still a lot of water, so you can see it's leaking out of the bottom, but that's what handy little tray is for. Pat this down a little bit. Might add a little bit more. Okay. Put that in there. Okay. Pat it down. Now I guess I'm gonna make a little. It might not be easy for you to see because it's so dark. Make a little divot with my finger right in the center, which is where I'm gonna put my seeds. And the first herb that I'll be planting is the Italian parsley. Now, I sometimes cook with parsley, not a lot. I don't love it all the time, but it's really good for certain things. It goes really well in this portobello mushroom dish that I make sometimes. But I never have fresh parsley around, so I always end up using dried parsley, which is not really very flavorful. So it would be good to have some on hand for when I make that dish. There are lots of different types of parsley. Italian parsley, which is also known as flat leaf parsley, is the most, I guess, like flavorful. It's the most intense. as far as smell and flavor. If you have fresh parsley and you want to store it properly, the best thing to do is to rinse it and wrap it in some paper towel and then put it into a little Ziploc bag and keep it in the fridge. And it should keep in the fridge like that for about a week or so. And you can also freeze parsley, but you want to sort of chop it up and make sure it's dry before you freeze it. So you chop it up, let it dry, and just put it in a little baggie. Okay, so we don't want to do more than about 5 seeds according to the package or the box. So let's see, there's 3 little seeds in my hand. Let's see if you can see them. 4. It's not a seed. See, it looks like 6 actually. Let me take one away. 5 little seeds, little parsley seeds in my hand. See, parsley's good with mushrooms. Okay, then drop them in one by one. Here's the last one. Okay. And I'm just going to cover that little hole back up with the soil. Add a little bit more. And then just pat it down gently. Ooh, it sure is drippy. I think I'll empty this back into here. I did not say this wouldn't get messy. Okay, so that's our first one. This is exciting. Okay, let's get our next pot. And scoop up a good amount of soil. Get some of the liquid out of there. Yeah, this is messy. That's for sure. Okay. Pat this down. If I can remember to, and I hope that I will, because I think it would be cool. I want to give you guys sort of progress updates, maybe post some pictures on Facebook and Instagram of the progress of our little herb garden. Okay, so I'm gonna make a little divot thing here in the soil for the seeds. It's a little too deep, just half an inch maybe. Okay, that's good. And the next one we're gonna do is the sweet marjoram. So, marjoram is a lot like oregano. And the thing with marjoram is that when you use it for cooking, interesting tip here, you don't want to, if you're cooking something hot, obviously, you really want to do, oh, these seeds are really teeny tiny. I don't even know if you can see them. It's best to add the marjoram towards the end, towards the end of the preparation, because it doesn't have a super strong flavor, and the heat, if you're cooking with heat, the heat will sort of get rid of the flavor, since it's not very strong anyway. So just a helpful little hint if you ever cook with marjoram. It's good with things like, it's good with a lot of things. I have never made anything like duck or lamb before, but I have read that marjoram is a good, it sort of matches well with these things. Pork also. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit more soil to the top of that. Pat that down. Okay. Here is our lemon basil. Lemon basil is similar to the marjoram in that if you're cooking with it, you don't want to add it to the dish too soon, because the heat will kind of sort of dissipate the flavor. We don't want that. I love basil. I think basil is probably my second favorite herb to cook with. My first favorite is cilantro. I would have cilantro on everything if I could, if it went with everything. And I do find that it goes with a lot of things. And I've noticed that people usually feel one extreme or the other about cilantro. They either love it the way I love it, or they absolutely hate it. Okay, got 5 little seeds right here. I'm gonna grab some of that, but I didn't. Basil goes with so many things. Tomatoes. It's great with tomatoes. And fish and all kinds of things. I really like basil with salmon. Cover this up. Just press it down. Alright, so we're done with that part, and now all that I need to do is cover each of these with some plastic wrap, which I have here, and let them germinate, which basically just means once I start to see some sprouting, then I can take the plastic wrap off. I've never tried that. that method before. So I'm interested. See what happens. Here's a little plastic wrap. Doesn't say anything about leaving an opening or anything, so I won't. Okay, there's the first one. Okay. This is the parsley. Basil and marjoram, just so that I know. Once I go put these outside, I don't remember which one's which. I'll keep them kind of labeled with something. Okay, one more piece of plastic. Yeah, I'm really not sure what the plastic is for, so if you know, if you are skilled at gardening or just happen to have that knowledge, let me know why I'm doing this, because I don't really know. I'm just following the instructions. Make sure these are all sealed. Okay. Well, that, as they say, is that. So I've got my Italian parsley, my sweet marjoram, and my lemon basil. And I will post some pictures as they start to grow and let you guys see their progress. Hopefully I'm a sufficient plant mom to these little baby herbs. Okay, well guys, I hope that you have enjoyed this week's Thrifty Thursday and found it interesting and relaxing. And I'm sorry for any of you that I disappointed with the Jell-O cubes. I tried and failed. So, I will be seeing you guys again very soon. Good night. So before I get started telling you all about Indiana Jones, I want to tell you a little bit about micro machines, because this is a really interesting kind of nostalgic thing in itself.